Hi everyone, this is Ashley Toth with Remax Heritage. I'm also the author of Living Westmoreland. Today we have Ian Humphries from Welcome Home Finance is a part of our 6-part buyer series. If you missed the first video, go back and check it out. It talks about when to get pre-approved. So today we're going to be discussing what you need to have on hand for the pre-approval and how your credit report will impact that pre-approval process. With us today, we have Ian Humphries from Welcome Home Finance. Hi, Ian. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me on, Ashley.
Absolutely. So, what are the steps to getting a pre-approval? What do I need to have? How long does it take? What does that process look like?
Sure. So it's a little bit different depending on how you're employed. If you work for a company and you get paid on a W-2, or if they pay you a commission, if you're paid as a non-owner, let's call it, that pre-approval conversation typically takes between 20 and 40 minutes. We're just going to go over and ask you some general questions that you'll probably know off the top of your head. How much money do you have on hand right now? What's the approximate balance of your checking and savings? Where do you work? How are you paid? Things like that. That's going to give me a good thousand foot view. From there, if there's something I feel that we need to zoom in on, like I said earlier about the credit, or if we want to get some more information about your employer because there's something that doesn't make sense on my numbers, we can do so. But usually, all I'm going to need to issue pre-approval are those thousand-foot questions. Now, if you're self-employed, first of all, you have to have been running that business for more than 2 years for me to consider that as income. Second of all, before I can issue pre-approval, we make it a point to always ask for your most recent 2 years tax returns. And the reason isn't always negative as you might first assume. Sometimes with self-employed borrowers, your tax returns are very complicated. Everybody files a little bit differently. There's a lot of different ways to be an LLP, an LLC. There's just so many different variations in our tax code that sometimes if we can see those tax returns up front, we can actually get more income than you were expecting out of those tax returns. And then sometimes we end up with less income than we were hoping for. But what I always tell people is it's a lot better to know that before you're already under contract on a pre-approval. We're going to pull your credit. Before I can issue that document that says, Ashley is a pre-approved borrower, I need to see that credit report. When I pull your credit report, that credit report lists everything that I consider as a liability. And those liabilities are how I calculate your qualification for a mortgage. So things like your water bills or, the payments that you make to a friend for, you know, going out one night, those I'm not going to consider in my income ratios. It's purely based off of everything that's on your credit report. And we say it's anything you can't make go away with a letter. Technically, you could turn your water off if you really like taking baths out of with wet wipes. I don't know. There's you could technically turn your electricity off. But once you're obligated on a debt, unless you file bankruptcy, that's not something that's going to go away. And we consider that a liability and factor it in over the long term for your debt to income ratio when it comes to a mortgage.
Wonderful. How can everybody get in touch with you?
You can reach me by phone at 724-772-3333, and I'm extension 2117. Or you can shoot me an email at ian@welcomehomefinance.com. And we also have an online site where you can apply, but we always actually encourage people to give us a call just so we can start the conversation and get to know you a little bit better.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks so much for joining us today. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this, please comment below if you have any additional questions. We'd love to hear your feedback. Please comment, share, and like. You can find this video on YouTube, Facebook, or IGTV under Living Westmoreland. Have a great day.